Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
The first patient diagnosed with Ebola has been confirmed here in the U.S. There is another enterovirus that has been spreading across the country. It's already claimed the life of one child today in Rhode Island. And now there is another mosquito-borne virus that's making its way up from Latin America, and it could be a problem for the U.S. here shortly. This is a chikungunya virus, and it is an excruciating mosquito-borne illness. It arrived less than a year ago in the Americas, and it's already infected more than 1 million people so far. Sufferers complain of days of pain and misery, including joint pain so severe that it can be hard to walk. Now, the carrier of the disease is the genetically modified Aedes aegypti mosquito. Now, this mosquito was tweaked to help control populations of mosquitoes that carry dengue fever, but now this mosquito has a viral disease of its own. In 2010, we reported that the UN announced plans to combat dengue fever and other mosquito-borne illnesses with genetically modified mosquitoes. Now, these mosquitoes were designed to make them sterile or to simply just kill off the mosquitoes that carry dengue fever. Lo and behold, this project was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And as mosquitoes are seen mostly as a nuisance, there was very little debate about meddling with nature by introducing billions of new organisms into the system. Kind of like there has been very little debate about bringing patients with Ebola into America, or refusing to block the flights from the Ebola zone, or even enforcing a mandatory quarantine for those people who fly in to other countries from the Ebola zone. Seems a little crazy unless that's your plan, is to bring Ebola into the country. Now, the reason why I bring up this particular chikungunya virus is that the Aedes aegypti mosquito has been relevant before, particularly when it comes to Project Artichoke. Of course, that is a secret CIA mind control program, and in this particular instance with the mosquito, they were seeking to find ways to spread a virus that could be an incapacitant, not necessarily something that would be deadly for a population, but something that would, of course, destabilize a region. Now, dengue fever has a hidden history. It has been the intense focus of U.S. Army and CIA biological warfare researchers for over 50 years, similar to the Ebola virus. Now, as we've mentioned, we have biowarfare centers in the Ebola zone doing human tests there in Sierra Leone, coincidentally at the exact same time of this current Ebola outbreak. Now, here is a great article titled "Dengue Fever Outbreak Leads Back to CIA and Army Experiments." Several CIA documents, as well as the findings of a 1975 congressional committee, reveal that several sites in Florida were used for experiments with mosquito-borne dengue fever. Now, one site was Avon Park, which consisted of newly constructed public housing projects for low-income African-American families. And it was here that specially equipped aircraft dropped 600,000 mosquitoes in purpose-built paper bags from above. And besides dengue fever, some of these mosquitoes were also carrying yellow fever. Now, just shortly thereafter, in the spring and summer of 1981, Cuba experienced a severe hemorrhagic dengue fever outbreak. They reported 10,000 people a day coming down with this disease. More than 100,000 people were hospitalized. And this is in addition to a severe swine flu outbreak that Fidel Castro attributed to the CIA. Now, Albarelli reports that former Fort Detrick researchers told him that they performed advanced work on the Cuba outbreak and that it was indeed man-made. The CIA was also accused of launching dengue epidemics in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nicaragua in the 80s as well. Now, release of these bioweapons, while not necessarily deadly, it could serve to incapacitate and destabilize those regions whose political ideology does not agree with ours. The U.S. government has subjected people to all sorts of experimentation in the past to further their agenda. There is highly documented historical evidence of malfeasance, so it is justified to question their motives, especially considering the absolute power they have to enforce mandatory vaccines. So just consider the track record of the US government. They're morally capable, they are technically capable of doing this. They have no ethical concerns when it comes to using bioweapons on their political enemies as well as American citizens. It's becoming clearer by the day that the government sees its citizens as enemy number one. So is it a stretch to say that they could create a deliberate Ebola pandemic that would not only enrich transnational pharmaceutical corporations, but it would also further their police state agenda?
In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the Infowar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfowarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from Infowars Life.